Jacob here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Drake Vulture. Now, I've wanted to overview this ship prior to its very quickly approaching release. As I've said before, I like to overview these prior to their release, with the potential of following this up with a first look video thereafter, as I did with the 100i way back when. What I will start with though, if I have one problem with the Vulture, is that it looks a lot like this ship. Now, for those that don't know, this is the Venture from the game EVE Online. EVE is very much a space game, much like Star Citizen. Apart from EVE, has been around for a very long time. Longer than that of even World of Warcraft. I'll be making a few comparisons to the Venture as we go, more so because I am an active EVE Online player myself. And so I've researched the Vulture a decent amount, and so what I say here is backed by research. What I don't mention here either means there is no evidence of it, or I simply didn't find this research, or didn't feel the need to mention it. As always, see the chapters for whatever you are interested in, not to mention my own dose of speculation and theories as always. However, for now, let's roll the intro. As all ships I currently overview are concept ships, not only can you not fly them as of the upload date of this video, you also can't buy them from the pledge store whenever you wish. This means you'd have to buy this from the grey market should you be looking to acquire one, or you can wait until IAE this coming November, unless you recently acquired one from Fleet Week just some days ago. While this ship is still in production, and very near to completion, you will be able to enjoy the last few weeks with the Prospector and the Buccaneer as its current loaners. The Prospector makes reasonable sense to have as a loaner, however the Buccaneer is an interdiction fighter, while the Vulture isn't actually a fighter in itself, although they are both Drake, which seems reasonable enough to me. Originally, the Vulture was available for 120 USD war bond upon its release. This is now 130 war bond at events such as Fleet Week and IAE. As for store credit, you'd be paying 140 of your precious credits for this at present. If you're one of those that specifically goes after LTI, much like me, you'd have to go toward the grey market of course, whether that be to obtain the original concept pledge, or just to purchase an upgrade. Given that the Vulture is very close to its release, it of course won't get any more price increases, so I would assume, at least. Now for me, seeing the ship I know as the Venture from my time playing EVE Online, I'm just automatically very impressed. But at the same time, I'm somewhat conflicted for the exact same reason. However, the Vulture and Venture are still technically different in a few ways. For example, the size of the Venture in EVE Online is 133 meters in length. That's just a few meters more than that of the Carrack. The Venture is also a mining frigate. Although it could equip salvages in its high slots, its purpose is newbie-friendly mining. Just for further reference, EVE Online's ship sizes are generally far bigger than that of Star Citizen. For extra perspective, the biggest ship in Star Citizen, the Retribution, currently only in lore, is about the size of the smallest capital ships in EVE Online. Although the Vulture would appear to be the first case where Cloud Imperium has, at the very least, taken inspiration from EVE Online, there is another more recently announced ship within the last couple of years where inspiration may have come from EVE Online. That'll be for another video, of course. Back to the Vulture, of course. Now, the Vulture's description talks about the scraper beams. Now, these are effectively the beams that come out of the front sides of the ships, the arms, if you like. Like many industrial ships, such as the Mole and Prospector with its mining lasers, Those two also require cargo space. The Vulture is no exception to this. The Vulture will be able to carry what may appear to be a rather small 12 SCU. However, starcitizen.tools lists this at 16 SCU. Hopefully the latter, of course, is true. Although this seems small, less than 10% that of the Reclaimer. If the Reclaimer was 10% of its own size, it would be half the size of the Vulture. So perhaps this is quite a good deal better. I am actually somewhat concerned about the ship's balance in that regard. More on that in the summary. Moving on to components, as you could expect, there isn't anything particularly spectacular here, given the purpose of the ship. The Vulture features a small radar, computer, power plant, 2 small coolers, shield generators and fuel intakes, and a small fuel tank, quantum drive, jump drive, and quantum fuel tank. I am grateful for the 2 small shield generators, however this could be a bit much potentially. To put this into perspective, the Arrow only has a single small shield generator. Although it won't struggle to take on a single Vulture, several Vultures could cause a single Arrow a problem. Moving on to weapons, as you'd expect, the weapons on a Vulture are almost meaningless, but not worthless by any means. The Vulture features 2 size 1 gimbaled laser repeaters. This is, of course, nothing much. Potentially a number of Vultures in a group may be able to fend off a small fighter, but not without losing a couple of Vultures, I expect. Lastly, the floor plan. There is no actual concept floor plan images, however the ship is small enough for us to figure it out, not to mention content released by Inside Star Citizen some months ago during its final art stage. We were able to get a reasonable floor plan idea from that. So from the back, this is where the processing area is. Effectively, that is where the salvage has gone through the various systems and comes out as SCU chunks, if you like. Going through the door at the end here, we can then go up some ladders, and we are then greeted with a small square area. We can open various panels here, where we can then also proceed through another door. This door leads us to the habitation area, where of course there is a bed and a toilet, and a shower. Leading through this next door, you can then get yourself into the cockpit. Now to summarise, the Vulture is a nicely concepted ship and has been executed incredibly as per the usual Cloud Imperium standards. There is just that very clear inspiration from another ship from a different game, the almighty Venture. What I am thankful for is that CCP Games isn't in the position to do anything about it, nor does it particularly care. For those that don't follow EVE Online, it was only several weeks ago that the sub price increased from 15 USD to 20 USD a month, and that is only the beginning of what's going wrong. Although CCP Games again won't do anything because they've got more important things to take care of, not including their community. Did I also mention even the Vulture name is a name of another EVE Online ship? ? Anyway, back to the Vulture. I mentioned before that the Vulture may not have a large storage area compared to the Reclaimer. A bunch of Vultures paired with, say, perhaps the Anvil Liberator could be quite effective. I believe the way to balance this would be by limiting the Vulture in certain salvage activities, where these other activities would require a Reclaimer. Should this be the path Cloud Imperium takes, only they know of course what to do best, otherwise we'll never see a use for the Reclaimer. Not like that hasn't already been a thing going on for years. Not at all. To conclude, although the Vulture doesn't particularly interest me too much, my idea of fun would more be in line with drug running and general trading. It will, and already has, spiked many people's interests, even mine after writing this script to an extent. For me, it's only a ship I'd buy in game personally, considering it's likely to be relatively cheap. The salvager career does look to be somewhat prosperous, and the animation work simply looks incredible. Perhaps I could be swayed into becoming a space salvager. Only time, including development time, will tell. On to other updates. I feel I'm establishing myself again quite nicely. Just today, the 5th of June, the day after my first video for almost a year, I've got 2 voiceovers recorded and edited in post, ready for a video to accompany them, while also having just finished writing the script for this video, also likely to have finished the voiceover today. Not to mention other video ideas just over the horizon. Stay tuned as always. Weekly videos are looking quite likely at this point, perhaps even more than that, but no promises yet. Furthermore, I'm experiencing a quiet patch at home, where I have the means to record in peace. I may not always have this luxury, so I'm well and truly taking advantage while I can. Thank you ever so much for watching. Today's video sponsor, as always, is the like button for that glorious YouTube algorithm goodness. That'll of course allow this channel, this community, to grow with your support. Obviously don't forget to comment or subscribe if you haven't already. I generally try to upload, at this time for now, monthly, so be sure to check back. My name is Jacob, thank you, and goodbye for now.